What's up, Labs? Welcome to a video where we'll be discussing something similar that happened last year with regards to inefficient use of game mechanics, shall we call it. Now, before I start, I just want to say I am not accusing anyone of cheating maliciously. And I'm not going to out anyone by name because I only did that last year with Prague, if you would remember. I only did that when I was positive that I felt like the person was cheating and enough evidence was presented, etc., etc. So, you know, this is kind of to highlight the fact that rulings, card text, these kind of things, you know, Konami should probably try and take more initiative into making sure that things are being followed correctly. Things like normal summoning twice, like that happened last year, is not a big deal. Like, well, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not like something that Konami can really clear up. It's like you either read the rulebook or you don't. But in this case, there's problems with the card text itself where very, very like knowledgeable Yu-Gi-Oh players would probably read it and at first think to themselves, oh, right, so it works this way, but in reality it works another way. What am I talking about while we stare into this beautiful picture of Bowden? Mwah, you're so beautiful, Bowden. While we look into this picture of Bowden, what card are we talking about? Well, I'm talking about Triangle Ecstasy Spark. It's a Harpy card. So let's just read it. Until the end phase, the attack of all Harpy Lady Sisters currently on the field becomes 2700. Fucking broken. No, it's a Harpy card. Did Harpies top? No, they didn't. So basically, the next part is how this was being used. So this is the same sentence, it's the same effect in terms of PSCT. Your opponent cannot activate any trap cards. Also negate all of your opponent's trap card effects on the field. That's really good. That's really good. Now, because of the way the card text is laid out, unless you have a pretty in-depth knowledge of card text and how to understand rulings, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, that's basic. I would have known that you can't activate that without Harpy on the field. Just because of the fact that there's no colon here, because of the fact that it doesn't say you need to activate it while you control a Harpy, because normally cards like that, they say while you control something, do this. When this happens, that happens. If this is the case, then you can do that, etc., etc. So because this is clearly old, this thing came out in like 2004 or something, so obviously its card text is not going to be good, shall we say. So, shoutouts to Mask of Restrict, if anyone's read that card's old text. Cards cannot be tributed under any circumstances, I think is the exact quote. Anyway, we're going on a tangent here. Your opponent cannot activate any trap cards, also negate all your opponent's trap cards. So you would think to yourself, really, this is kind of just an anti-magic arrows. You guys know what anti-magic arrows? It's really good. It's like a trap stun, but it's a quick play spell card. And you have to use it in your battle phase. And then you can go off in main phase too. So it's a pretty good card. This card is basically better than that in every single way if you're activating it incorrectly. So, this is where it gets really interesting. So the ruling part aside, because I'll come back to it at the end to kind of top it off. As we go back here to beautiful Bowden's blog, let's read Bowden's blog. What's your name, Bowden? Where are you from? Glenmore Park, wherever that is. Some hellhole in Australia, apparently. What deck are you playing today? Ask him what deck he's playing today. And all the duelists on this blog get asked the same question. What deck are you playing today? And then the second question is, do you have any tech cards? Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to get out of the vehicle and remove all of your tech cards out of the vehicle. We don't permit tech cards here in Texas federal law. So the second question basically on the blog says, you know, what are your tech cards? And then people list their tech cards. Bowden was teching D-Barrier and Emptiness. Wow, Bowden, that's so innovative. Like, how did you come up with that? That's really good. Oh my god, that's so wow. Damn, Jennifer, Stacy. Oh my god, like that's still station. So the third question they get asked is, what are you looking forward to this year? Fourth question, anything else you'd like to add? Next player. Let's go to his blog. What's your name? What deck are you playing today? Do you have any tech cards? What are you looking forward to this year? Anything else you'd like to add? 4 questions. What deck are you playing? Tech cards. What are you looking forward to? Anything else you'd like to add? Next player. What deck are you playing? Any tech cards? What are you looking forward to this year? Anything else you'd like to add? Alright, you see the formula here? They ask every player the same question. Now, I'm not going to reveal his name because I feel, like I said, I feel like he probably didn't mean it. He plays Blackwings, so, you know, chances are he maybe didn't know that much about the rulings, which is fair enough, and not many people would be able to read a card from 2004 and tell you how it works, really, without, like, you know, some stupid kind of, like, PSCT in-depth knowledge, which a lot of players don't have, despite playing for years. So if we go to the very bottom here, again, this is another player. What deck are you playing today? Any tech cards? What are you looking forward to this year? Anything else you'd like to add? Nope. This player, however, this player, the one above him, above this beautiful Asian man here, what deck are you playing today? What are you looking forward to this year? Anything else you'd like to add? 3 questions. Wow, 3 questions. How come everyone else got 4 questions? This guy got 4 questions. Support Neighborhood Craft with Pride, Mr. Shoutouts to Neighborhood Craft with Pride, whatever that is. Mr. Lely over here. He got asked 4 questions. Our beautiful Ukrainian Prince Bowden got asked 4 questions. This guy got asked 4 questions. But this guy here didn't get asked 4 questions. It's really bizarre, isn't it? What happened to that second question? So what I did was I cropped out the original image, as you can see here. So I'll just move it around so you can see it a little bit easier. So this is the original blog post, part of it anyway, because the bottom question is cut out because it was print screened on a mobile phone. This is the original. I covered the name of this, what this red box is, if you're wondering that. I got rid of his personal details. So the second question is here. Do you have any tech cards or cards that really helped you throughout that day? This doesn't have the second question. They deleted it. They deleted that question. What was his tech card? Triangle Ecstasy Spark worked like a spell version of Denko or Trap Stun and destroyed Paleo and Magispected decks running traps all day. I also used sort of I don't know what the fuck that is. But basically he says he used Triangle Ecstasy Spark because it was like Denko or Trap Stun. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And then just here I've got the current blog post. So if we do a side-by-side comparison, what we find is that, you know, the original blog post just has 3 questions, but the second blog post, you know, it says, what deck are you playing today? I'm pointing with my finger when I have a fucking mouse in my right hand. Jesus, I'm retarded. So what deck are you playing today? What are you looking forward to this year? This is what the current blog says. The original blog post I said, what deck are you playing today? And then it said, do you have any tech cards? So they deleted that from the blog. They deleted that from the blog. So this basic, again, let's bring it all together. Final point I wanted to mention as well was the ruling itself. So those of you wondering why it doesn't work, because I'm sure half the people watching this video will actually be thinking to themselves, oh yeah, it's pretty good. It says your opponent can activate any traps or negate all your opponent's effects. It makes sense, right? But, you know, if we use a little bit of like ruling, quite a lot of ruling knowledge, because this doesn't have PSCT, you kind of just have to use all of your ruling knowledge. It says Harpy Lady Sisters currently on the field become 2700 attacked, comma, your opponent cannot activate any trap cards. Basically, why this doesn't work as a spell card version of Denko is because of the fact that you can't activate a card that would do nothing as part of its mandatory effect, if you know what I mean. So this card does nothing, and then the negating of the trap happens afterwards. If you don't have Harpies on your field, you're technically doing nothing when you activate this card, so it's an illegal activation. If you Raigeki your opponent and they don't have a field, that's an illegal activation. You can't Raigeki when there's nothing to Raigeki. You can't Dark Hole if there's nothing to Dark Hole. It's just an illegal activation, you know? Because of the fact a lot of people would be confused and say, well, it doesn't say while Harpy Lady Sisters are currently on the field, or it doesn't say if you control Harpy Lady Sisters, then you can activate this card. It doesn't say that because it has just really old PSET. So, again, just want to really emphasize and reiterate, I'm not bashing anyone for, I'm not bashing this guy, I'm not calling him out. Like I said, I 100% believe that he was just misinformed about the rulings. Cheating nonetheless, but not maliciously. Now, it's, again, it's just really important because I feel like there's something that has to be done. The fact that, like, we have a card database, Konami's official one, it's not very good. Most people just use a Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki, and, you know, and there is, like, a rulings section, you know, and it says here, your opponent, you cannot activate Triangle Spell if Harpy Lady Sisters is not on the field. Now I know, well, haha, lol, you're using fucking wiki for rulings, lol. No, but like the fact, this is actually better than the Konami database, just to show you how kind of bad it is now. Yes, I know you can email them in, but like people don't want to email. Just we should be able to just click on a card and then maybe see like an FAQ about that card, you know. So like, for example, there should be, if you click on preparation of rights, there should be a FAQ, because frequently asked questions about preparation of rights would be, do you draw 1 or 2 cards from shared ride, for example, you know. So there should just be an FAQ. Like, there's all kinds of suggestions as to how Konami can alleviate this from happening again in the future. But yeah, I just thought it was crazy that they actually like deleted the entry from the blog. That's like, wow. So yeah, that's really the point I wanted to make today. I just wanted to highlight this story. So not really much else to add to it. I'm just wondering what you guys think. What are some constructive criticisms that you guys can give for really just, you know, the game to have like a clean cut, really just sort of like baseline set of rulings that we can kind of just, you know, it just has to be easier access. Because if you use the chain links correctly and you think about the PSET and it all goes through, like, it all kind of makes sense. And if you read the rulebook, blah blah blah, policy documents, it all makes sense. But it's just really not enough if you think about it. If you're just like a casual player that really doesn't, you know, think too in depth about chain link 9 on the fucking missing timing of Kuraz versus Obelisk the fucking dick, etc. So, you know, we need a little bit more, and I'd be curious to know what kind of suggestions there would be for like really stopping this from happening again. Because again, I'm so sure that this wasn't maliciously done. It's just something that happens because of the fact that the rulings in Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be very, very complex and just really counterintuitive. So yeah, that's really all I had to say. Also, yeah, I mean, this really blog post, multinational company 2017, good effort, you know, covering your international events on a blog like that my sister could make. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.